Good afternoon, Dolphin fan. Welcome back to Sports Night with Jorge. Today I'm bringing up the 2023 Miami Dolphins. What happened to the Miami Dolphins in 2023? Well, I'm looking back at coaching, pride, and injury. Three key factors for this football team. Let's start with the injuries. This is the National Football League. And I'm going to tell you, when you have key players with injury, you cannot win in this league. But here's another factor. You do have a 53-man roster. And you need to make changes. And that's a coaching issue. And then comes to pride. What happened to pride? Well, expectation. The Dolphins once built high expectation the last 2 years. Okay, on paper, the media, man, this team's a Super Bowl team. They got speed. They got defense. Yeah, but guys, they haven't hit the field yet. They haven't played yet. They haven't practiced yet. And of course, you got mini camps, practice, preseason games, which I don't know what they do because some of these players don't start. There's especially the starters. They don't play till what? The third game? From a 4-game, preseason now to a 3-game preseason or 2 games? I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know? How can you know what you have on the field when you can't even put them to play in the game? But anyhow, that's another issue we could talk about. But then you got regular season. Okay? And this team, the past 2 years, is being hit very hard when it comes to injuries. Not to say that the owner, Stephen Ross, has paid a lot of money for this football team, especially good players. Now, I'm not bringing down Tariq Hill. I'm not bringing down Waddle from the draft or Tua Tagovailoa. Okay? These are great players, awesome players. You know, they get paid pretty well. You know? But you have to win football games. Miami were 11-6. Hey, they could be 6-11. And of course, comes the criticism. The criticism of, wow, you know, they can't win the good games or the tough teams, but they could beat the easy teams. Well, let's look at it different. What happened if they would have won 6-11? What's your comment? What's your reaction? You're still going to criticize them regardless they're 11-6 or 6-11. Listen, they made the playoffs, okay? First 2 are lost in the playoffs. Yeah, as Dolphin fans, we were frustrated. I've been a 30-plus year Dolphin fan. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? Now let's go to coaching. We got a big McDaniels, you know. That's what you hear in the media all day. McDaniels, you know. He's not a good manager. He's not a good coach. As good as he is, he's an offensive coach. He's a running back coach, you know. He came from the Shanahan background, you know. Yeah, but guess what? If he doesn't get here, I don't think Tua Tagovailoa will have a chance to play in this league. Because Flo sure didn't give him a chance. Didn't trust in Tua. He wanted Herbert. But that's in the past. I just don't want to talk about that now. I want to talk about the 2023 Dolphins. 53-man roster. You got to put those players to play, regardless. You can't say, I don't have trust in them. So let me ask you a question. What do you have them on your roster for then? What do you build a 53-man roster for? To keep them in the sideline with a uniform? Not to get dirty in the field and play? You got to give people chances, man. You got to give these players chances. You know, you will come our superstars. Let's look at Zach Thomas, a linebacker. Oh, he's too small. He can't play this in this league. Yeah? Well, Hall of Famer. Became a heck of a linebacker. Jason Taylor, he doesn't have the speed. He's a big guy, physical guy, but he doesn't have the speed. Another Hall of Famer. You know? See, this is what I want to come to. Everybody knew that Tua Tagovailoa was throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill. Here's where the coaching has to change. That strategy has to change. Great running backs were Raheem Mostert, you know, before he got hurt. Once again, injury, actually hurt this team. And you might say, well, that's excuses. Well, whatever you want to think, it's not excuses because if you get hurt at work, you think they're going to put you back to work? They're going to send you home. Go see a doctor. And when you feel better, you come back to play. Well, this team had players with injury playing in the football field. And your chances of winning are not very good when you're injured. But you're going to say, but wait a minute, they won 11 games and they had players injured? Yeah, but what happened in the last 3 games of the season? When there were key games. And let's not go back. The key game that really destroyed this team was against the Tennessee Titans. Win that one, and we should be talking something different. But once again, how do you know? We don't know. We're second guessing. Let's be real, Dolphin fans. Let's be real. Give credit where credit's due. We come a long way. We haven't been in the playoffs over plus 20 years. Now that we're the only NFL team that haven't won the playoff. We haven't won the Super Bowl for a while. It's been a while. Heck, let's look at Dan Marino. Awesome quarterback, Hall of Famer. Never won a Super Bowl. He only faced Joe Montana in 1983, 84? If I'm correct myself. That was it. We had a no-name defense. Young quarterback. Great quarterback, by the way. And for me, I still believe that he's the best quarterback in this league. I know you have Favre, you have Manning, you have Drew Brees. We could go on and on and on. But I'm talking about the 2023 Miami Dolphins. What went down? The pride, the coaches, the injuries. All this affected the team. Listen, I don't mind you breaking record. I love Tyreek Hill, the fastest receiver in the league. Probably the two fastest receiver combination in this league. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you got to win the football game, regardless. Great quarterback, Well, he's too small. He's not that strong enough arm. Oh, man, come on, man. I'm just tired of hearing that. I really am tired of hearing that. He can throw over 50 yards. Well, Tyreek Hill proved that to a lot of sports fans and reporters out there. The kid could play football. And I know size matters because, but guess what? You win jiu-jitsu. He played 17 games. After a hip injury in Alabama, then concussion in the NFL. Imagine if I have no protection, I'll probably be in concussion protocol too. We got to be realistic. These players go home to a family. Okay? And trust me, you don't want to have a player gone for the year. What happened to Chubbs? What happened to the other linebacker? It's tough, guys. It's really tough. The NFL, it's very hard to play. And Tua has said it. This is not an easy league to play. I know we have Tua haters, and I understand that. Okay? But you tell me now, what's the best quarterback out there right now? What fits your program? What is McDaniel's scheme? I mean, think about it. Think about it. McDaniel took Tua from nowhere to somewhere. And at least you have to give him credit for that. And I know Tua does. Okay? But we got to be realistic. Then you got sportscasters. You got announcers. You got ESPN. You got all these sports channels, and social media. The guy can't coach. He's not a coach. Really? Well, it's nice to be behind his mic. Let me see if you could coach. So stop judging. We're not here to judge anybody. Okay? Look at the facts and look at the reality. This is the National Football League. And it's hard to win football games. And you got 11 players on defense, 11 players on offense. Plus your roster. So as a coach, you got to build your roster. You know, once again, it's not easy to win the National Football League. And I know Dolphin fans, it's frustrating. It is. We haven't won. I know it is, but then we got fan and fanatics, You got those that get crazy and throw the TV through the window and breaks the TV or gets mad. And I understand that. I totally understand you. Okay? I totally do. But at the end of the day, these guys go to a home, to a family. They have a job, and their job is the National Football League, the football field on Sundays. And it's not easy. It's not easy, guys. Superstars. Now I'm coming to the pride. It's about me, 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 me. It's not about you. It's about the entire football team. And I think McDaniel has done a good job on that part. That he's a perfect coach. There is no perfect coach. If there was one, it was Don Shula on the perfect season. But guess what? When his time was over, it was over. And I could go on and on because I don't want to talk about the past of the Dolphins. I want to talk about now. What's the future for the Dolphins? Here comes free agency. That's going to be tough. $50 million over the cap. That's going to be hard. You got Wilkins, French tag on him, or trade him, or go to free agency, which that's what he's probably going to do. Try free agency. I mean, it's going to be difficult, guys. And they says, man, we let the best player go. Well, my God, we had good players in Miami, and we never went nowhere. So we got to look at the positive, not the negative. But the pride, yes, there's pride in this team, okay? Because you know what? Every NFL team has expectation every single year before the season starts, and it's to win the Super Bowl. But then we have to look at the key factors, injuries, okay? Players not making it, getting cut, not practicing. You got to have passion and love of what you're doing. See, the NFL is about money now. That's another thing we haven't discussed. I'll discuss it another time. Sports has changed completely from Major League Baseball to hockey to NBA, even the NFL. Do you play for the love of the game or you play for the money? Because that's two different things. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We all get paid. That's a job. I know I'm going to get some bad answers and good answers on this one, but I can't you can't let something affect you. Because you know what? At the end of the day, all of us, we have a responsibility within ourselves. We have a job to do, and we have a family to go home to at the end of the day. That's whether you're playing football or baseball or any sports, even your own job. But we do carry a responsibility, and each player in this team has a responsibility. I feel bad for the owner, Stephen Ross. All the money, the stadium he put there, was his own money. Okay? The city didn't want to help the guy. He did it on his own. He wants to bring a winning team to Florida. And it's so difficult. That's why he said, hey, you know what? I'm not spending no more money. Let's see what we got out there. And you know what? When we picked Tariq Hill, everybody went crazy. Oh, man, now we're going to the Super Bowl. Now, I mean, we're going to be, unstoppable. Guys, we haven't hit the field yet. That's on paper. Be real. It's realistic. Okay? Now, I'm not going to criticize my team. I know this team in 2024, they got something special. Sometimes changes are good, sometimes changes are not good. But you don't give up on your team. Because if you do, then you're not a Dolphin fan. Do I feel your frustration? Yes, I feel your frustration. Every team has it. Buffalo, the Jets, Pittsburgh. Cleveland. I could keep going on and on. You know, how do you build a team? How do you build a franchise? One thing that my Daniel did build in that team, it's a character team. He kept them together. Team like this, they don't keep it together. They collapse. They break up. There's issues in the locker room. There's problems in the sideline. You know, so you have to be smart when you really realize your team, how good they are, how bad they are. And you're gonna see the criticism and the hypes of the team. Man, if they would have done this, we could sit here going on and on and on and on. Okay, the Miami Dolphins are a professional football team. So is every other team in the NFL. The only thing you gotta do is put on your helmet and your pads and show up on Sunday. That's what I can say. Dolphin fans, don't give up on your team. Stay encouraged. It's just a football team. Okay? It's your team. You love them. You're from Florida. You grew up there. You've seen the Don Shula era. Jimmy Johnson. Dave Wannstedt. Look at Campbell. Campbell used to be a coach for the Dolphins. Took the Detroit Lions. And I know you're going to say, hey, wait a minute, but he's a stronger character than McDaniel. McDaniel's just too soft. How do we know that? Because you're seeing it from the outdoor? What about the indoors? We don't see that part, huh? See, you can't break your teams down by just criticizing them and say, hey, man, you're not good enough. Let me replace you. That's the same thing if you go in at work and somebody comes to you and says, hey, you're not good enough. Let me replace you. Did you like that? No, come on, guys. Let's be honest. If you're a true Dolphin fan, you know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm coming from. It's going to be a hard task for 2024 for this team. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of disagreement. A lot of fans are not going to like what things are going to happen with trades and, man, they let him go. He went to another team. They should have signed him. You know what? That's part of football. But anyhow, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit as many likes button as you like. You guys have a blessed night. And once again, I see you next time. Thank you.